They shouldn't be, and they're just going out and we talk about execution all the time. Last week we talked about one thing to them, and that was owning the mixed downs, first and second down, because the year before against Missouri we had 21 third downs, and we didn't do real well in those, and that's why we struggled moving the ball. Well, this game we did control the mixed downs. I think we were like 73% on first down and about 58% on second down. Then we got to third down. We had 15, which is about average for a game, and we were at 60% that way. So, again, to answer your question, I don't think they're looking at that. They're concentrating on what we have to do every series. So,
Coach, I think we ask you this every week, just especially the past couple of weeks, about Josh Dobbs. Do you feel like going into Vanderbilt, he's playing his best football that you've seen?
I do. I think Josh has had a great year. But I think right now he's playing extremely well, running the football as well as throwing the football. And, he's probably at the top of his game right now.
How much do you think that motivated him, that South Carolina game? Because he came out after that, after the game immediately, and then the next week just talking about how he took responsibility, he didn't play well, and since then he's been off the charts.
I really don't know. I think you'd have to talk to Josh about that. And, I just know Josh, and every practice, every game, he's going to go at it to give his best. So I don't know if that was motivation or not. I mean, you'd have to talk to him about that one. But I just know what we get out of him.
Were you feeling pretty emotional on the senior day?
Yeah, I have to admit, when I saw him walk out and then I saw him, hug his parents and coach and all that, I have to say, I was taken back a little bit by it. And I went up to him after the game, and I said something like, I didn't know how you would take today as far as emotionally. And he started laughing. He goes, Coach, I don't have many emotions. I'm pretty even keel all the way through it. And I said, well, seeing your mom and dad had to, do something. He goes, yes, it did. But he says, I got right back to my focus. And that's Josh Dobbs. I mean, just every play, you know what you're going to get out of that guy.
Was there a conversation in the fourth quarter there when he was coming out of the game to get a standing ovation and hug Butch about that being a design after the first play of that series late before he went to the game?
That was all Butch's idea. I thought it was outstanding. He just said before that series, because we were talking about who we were going to put in and all that, and we, Quentin was one of the guys we talked about putting in, and he says, well, I want to do this for Josh on the first play, and then after that, he can go in. So Coach must have had that in mind or whatever. You can talk to him, but I just thought it was, a great tribute.
Mike, you said earlier in the year you and Bob don't ever talk during games up in the booth. I'm wondering if has that changed these past two games when it's been 90 points and 100 points scored and both teams are going up and down the field. Has it changed at all?
Not a lot. Again, he's doing his job and he's got to focus on that. And then when we have the ball, I'm doing my deal. So we really don't talk too much during the game. Occasionally, I'll tap him and say, hey, great job, or he'll tap me and say, great job, whatever. But you just don't have a lot of time to talk to, another coach on the other side of the ball because, we're putting together the next series talking about that as offensive coaches, and I know he's doing the same thing defensively when the other team didn't have the ball.
You've talked a lot about Dobbs. What about Josh Malone the year he's had? He's had 9 touchdowns. Seems like if you guys need a big play, I think all of his touchdowns are 20 yards or more. Just can you speak to the development he's made and the impact he's had this year?
Josh Malone?
Yeah.
Again, I said before the start of the year, I thought that Josh Malone had really stepped up in a lot of ways. I think mentally, his mental approach to practice and his mental approach to the games has really helped him. And and like you said, he's made a lot of plays. Juwan Jennings made a lot of plays out there too. So there's a lot of guys making plays, but I just think the consistency of Josh Malone has been there the entire year.
Butch talked about the evolution of the two tight end set for you guys and how much it's helped you all as an offense and grow. Can you just speak on that a little bit?
Sure. When you're facing a lot of this Bear defense and stuff, when you go 2 tight ends and then you have the availability to run the quarterback, they're going to be a gap short. And just the different things we do off of it. We motion one of the tight ends to end up in trips. And then, we always look at how they're adjusting. Do we want to continue to run the ball to that, or do we want to come back the other way with other plays back to the weak side? So it's really been a good package for us.
Coach talked about Vanderbilt being one of the toughest defenses you guys will have to face this season. What to you makes them such a challenge?
I think, first of all, they've got great talent. They're They're talented in the up front all the way to the back end. Their linebackers are really good as well, but I also think they're very well coached. They're not as multiple scheme-wise as what we just saw from Missouri, but yet their their scheme is very good and they play it very well.
Is that Cunningham type of guy that really scares you on the film when you watch him? I know he's contention with DB to be Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Well, I have a lot of respect for him when you watch him play. He's very talented. He plays the game very physical, and I have a lot of respect for him and how he plays the game.
How important is it for Josh Dobbs running the football? I mean, these past couple of games, we've seen him lead the team in rushing. Is that something that you like to see from your quarterback?
Well, I just think that whenever you have a quarterback like Josh with his talents, we've got to utilize that. And you never know, like some of those runs that we called, beforehand, we thought there was a possibility he might keep it. But, again, he made great decisions in this game of when to keep it. And, those plays worked out big for us.
Coach, you mentioned it a little bit already, but mixing it up on first and second down, I think especially in the first half against Missouri, I think Josh was 8 for 8 for football on first down. How much did that kind of change the looks you were getting and you were able to take advantage of it going forward?
It didn't change their looks because, as I mentioned last week, they're so multiple. I mean, their coverages are multiple, their fronts are multiple, their blitzes. I mean, they had a very multiple scheme. And so really, in my opinion, I don't know the head coach who calls the defense. I don't know him personally, but I feel like he's like a dial up a defense. Whatever, if you're starting to hurt him with something, he's going to come back in his package to try to attack you that way. So, it's like you didn't really know at times what you might get.
Mike.